Alright guys, this is your boy the Kryptonian saying here, bringing you a review for One Piece chapter 238. And once again, more world building is going on. But I have to say this before going further. You know, in the SBS corner, right? One of the things that Oda does is he answers readers. And what I found very interesting was the fact that he lists out all the countries that were selling One Piece as of 2002 and then after 2003, okay? And I found this interesting because one of the reasons why I had held off on reading One Piece is, mainly because I hadn't really heard a lot about it. Like, I heard about it in anime circles, right? But it just wasn't mainstream. And that's one of the worries I had when Naruto was winding down, right? I was just like, man, I don't know about this. Can't really get into it. Doesn't seem like it's going to be that good. That's one of the things I was thinking. And just looking at this, like this list, one of the things I found fascinating is when you look at the list, America's not on there. And you only have a few European countries. I'm going to read off the list. And I think that it speaks volumes for something that I've been told a lot, which is, Oda, and not just told, I read this myself. Oda said that he could change with Kishimoto. He would take Naruto's popularity internationally, whereas Kishimoto wanted One Piece's popularity in Japan. One Piece was bigger. So I thought that was pretty cool. And that's one of the reasons why I eventually decided to give One Piece a try, because I was like, well, I enjoy Kishimoto. And Kishimoto saying that Oda's pretty damn cool. And Oda had that design at the end of the... well, he had the straw hat symbol. Kishimoto had the straw hat symbol on the Hokage monument. And then I saw the drawing that Oda did where Nami and Luffy and somebody else were in, looked like Akatsuki robes, but it had the hidden leaf symbol. So that was pretty cool. But anyway, here's the list. Taiwan, Korea, Singapore, France, Spain, Brazil, Hong Kong, Thailand, Malaysia, Italy, and Germany. So 11 countries were selling One Piece before 2002, and 4 more got added after 2003. Indonesia, Sweden, Denmark, Mexico. So that was nice. That was pretty nice right there. Same thing when we get like the reintroduction of Wapol, which I don't even. Oh my God, I get nightmares thinking about how terrible Wapol is as a character. He's horrible. He's right there with Kaguya Tsuchiki horrible. Like, I just like how I wipe Kaguya from my mind when it comes to the final arc of Naruto. I just pretend that Naruto and Sasuke, they sealed away Madara Uchiha, and after they sealed away Madara, they fought each other, series ends, right? That's how I pretend Naruto ended. I just pretend that Drum Island never happened, and Luffy found Chopper sitting at Santa Claus's workshop looking all lonely because he's the rejected reindeer, and Luffy said, hey, you want to join my crew? Good, you can get down with the crew, and that's just what happened. Like, that's how it takes place in my mind. Drum Island would have been really good if Wapol wasn't there. I've taken a couple minutes to kind of, rant and kind of go over what I saw as far as the list. So what did I mean when I said more world building in this chapter? Well, this was very interesting. I like how Oda incorporated a little bit of religion into this, because the gate that they find is actually called heaven, right? And that was interesting simply for the fact that, Luffy's even cracking jokes. And I don't know if this is a Viz translation error or what, or, Viz is doing what, they did with the Dragon Ball manga and what Funimation did with the anime, where they rewrite some stuff with Luffy's just like, I always wanted to go to heaven, and, oh, she's an angel. She's a pruny little angel. I could see Luffy saying that. That's in character. But just like the different puns on going to heaven and the gate and the whole thing of passing judgment, I mean, I had a lot of different vibes on that. And the thing is you could kind of compare it with other religions. I really feel like that's why when Viz put this together, this volume, that's why they had the whole thing with the countries being sold. Because just how you have different countries, they're also from different regions. And mainly you have a lot focused over in Asia, which makes sense. One Piece grew from the east and worked its way west. But, the different areas in there, there's different religions. So that was pretty cool just to see that. I wonder if that's really what was going on, if Viz did this on purpose, because Oda was having a pun off of different religions, because right off top I can see a little bit of Christianity, I can see a little bit of Buddhism in there, and I can also see a little bit of Islam. So it's just a few different things, man. But so anyway, what was also interesting about this chapter is while you do have the world building, you have the classic Oda technique where when you get a whole bunch of information or when you're getting a lot of serious stuff, Oda's gonna break the tension, and that's exactly what he does. Basically, you know, Luffy finds this cloud, and he's like, I can't punch it. What's gonna happen? Him and Usopp, they're bouncing all over it, and they have like the little running gag moment where it's just like these two, they're acting like frat boys. They've just been given a big keg of beer, and they're having a fun ass time, right? And earlier in the chapter, you have Luffy when what was it, Ganor? I believe that's his name, the name of the White Knight. One second, I'm gonna pull it up. It is Gan Fall. When Gan Fall gives Luffy the whistle, he tells him, like, look, man, I'm giving you this whistle because of how brave you are. And it's because they decided to take the knock up stream. And he says, just call me at any time. And when you call me, I will come here and I'll rescue you. Doesn't matter what you're in for. Normally you have to pay, I believe he called them Extals, but 5 million Extals. And because they're broke, that's part of the reason why he did it. Which again, I mean, plot fucking convenient. Like, Luffy and the others are given this whistle. Like, I just roll with it because there's worse things that Oda could have done. Same with how the lobster kind of took them up. And the other thing, what, you know, Oda is, it's like, every time I get ready to say something's plot convenient, I wouldn't say every time, most of the time, when I get ready to say something's plot convenient, you know, Oda finds a way to make it justifiable, except for in a few cases. You know, a few times since I've been reviewing for, what, 237 chapters, there's been a few moments where it's just like, dude, you put yourself into a box and you basically said, oh, I'm just going to erase the lines around the box, and Luffy and the others, that's the break they're going to catch. So that being said, I don't mind this. Like I said, it's not a negative, so, you know, like, no ranting and all other shit. Like, that's fine, but that's not what I'm saying. But the reason why I wanted to point that out is I was personally impressed when he tells them that there were other options. And the reason why I was impressed is what we're seeing is Oda is teaching readers. He is telling them, like, hey, when you're in life, sometimes it pays to be diligent and gather information. And I feel like that's why Nami's there. And I feel like that is why Nico Robin is there, because that's more of their mindset. And what I liked about it is Nico Robin is very attentive. And that's one thing that I loved in this chapter, and that's actually going to be my chapter question, which is how impressed were you with Nico Robin's observation skills, is Robin shows exactly why she was able to make it as long as she did working in the criminal underworld, if you will, because she basically says, hey, this dude Gan Fall didn't really tell us anything of any valuable information. Like, basically, he talked with a bunch of pretty words, you know, gave some information, kind of redirected for a little bit. And that's the thing, right? Like, a lot of people would get caught up on, what do you mean there's other options? What do you mean I have to pay you $5 million? And Nami falls right into it. She starts crying tears because she's like, we could have been killed. And that's something Gan Fall even says himself, which is like, hey, you either make it, you all make it, or you all die. There is no in between. That's why a lot of people don't take this route. And right away, I hear that, and I'm seeing the reactions, and I'm thinking what Robin's thinking, which is so we're not really getting a lot of meat at this point. We're getting information, but nothing that really helps them out. And he took a long time just to tell them his name. So I like how Robin was the one who caught that. You know, I'm telling you, man, Robin is quickly becoming my favorite character, man. I'm really loving Robin. And between what she did in this chapter and what Blackbeard did at the end of the last chapter, or in the beginning of the last chapter, where he's like, if we're just diligent, we'll run into them because the Grand Line's a big place. If it's meant to be, it's meant to be. Like, just seeing these two new characters act in a way that fits closer to how I behave in real life, that was really cool, man. And that's the beautiful thing about any type of literature, which is when you're able to find something that you yourself are able to connect to, it gets you that much more invested in the writing, or in this case, the illustrations as well as the writing. So tip my hat to Oda at this point. Now, one other thing that I wanted to point out is while Nami is getting upset, Usopp is basically saying like, hey, I was really, really brave and everyone else was, afraid and I led the way. Another classic Usopp tall tale. But the thing that I loved about that is Usopp is talking, right? And he's trying to make himself seem bigger and larger in life, really important. And as you guys know, I actually like Usopp's character. I find him comical. He's kind of like Krillin for me, for what Krillin is in Dragon Ball. A very comical character. But the thing is while that's going on, Luffy and Zoro, they're adjusting to the air very easily. And in fact, they do it at such a fast rate that even Gan Fall is just like, that's impossible. And I feel like those are very strong words, because for somebody like that to say impossible means that they shouldn't be adjusting this quickly. And then when you find out how high they are, like 30-something thousand or 23,000 feet into the air, if you just look at the layers of the atmosphere, it should be hard as hell for them. For normal people, it should be damn near impossible to breathe. Like at that, like you're not at the point where you need the mask, but that's some serious shit right there. So that in itself, really, really, really cool. The other thing is we find out that there's the white sea. You have the blue sea, which is the ocean, the white sea, which is the Emperor Cloud, and then you have the white sea, which I'm guessing is going to be the Sky Island. And what I liked about that is I'm reading this. I'm thinking back, I was taking some clips from Battle of Gods for a video I might put out. I'm really worried about using Toei animation clips, so I might put it out. And the thing is a lot of people saying, oh, Goku's breathing in space, Goku's doing this, and it's like, no, he's in the thermosphere. Like, he's not breathing in space, dumbass. It's like, there's a very thin layer of air up there, which is why the movements got slower, and he had like the fog, and he was breathing heavy. It's hard as hell to breathe at that point. And I'm bringing that up because as it relates to this chapter, while Luffy and the others weren't that high up, it really makes me wonder just how durable is Luffy's body, and what the hell does that say about Zoro? Because Zoro is up pretty high too, and he's adjusting like it's nothing. So overall, pretty good chapter. Didn't really care for the Pegasus animal and the lobster crab, but the thing about Oda is Oda, he loves his animals. You're going to get animals whether you want them or not. So I can kind of live with that. But like I said, didn't really care for it. Anytime Oda turns the chapter into a damn petting zoo, I kind of just thumb through, and I'll gloss back over in case there's something I missed. But for the most part, I try to skip over that because I don't really care about the animals. Love animals, don't really care about it in the One Piece stuff. I just want to get into the story. So I'm going to repeat my question for you in case, you guys forgot it, because it's been a while out. Basically, how impressed were you with the fact that Nico Robin was able to kind of see through the whole thing with Gan Fall, with his words, not really giving anything of substance? And what do you think about the whistle? Like did you think it was there for comic relief? Kind of like what's going on in Dragon Ball Super right now, where it's just like, oh, Goku's got a button. It's going to summon the Omni King. And it's serving the same purpose. Like that whistle, Gan Fall is going to show up and be their Uber driver, if you will. So, as always, guys, if you like anything I had to say, hit that like button, comment, rate, subscribe, share. I will greatly appreciate it. As always, thanks for watching. Have an awesome